While we hoped the females could pull themselves together and croak, some were too wild to save. However, the show's timeline was set earlier, and we were sure they wouldn't be saved in it. However, they messed up with Aquila and Travis traveling to salvation. The Yellowjackets may be closer to survival in a normal, boring life than ever. Full episode recap. At a grocery shop, Shauna is working the register when a customer compliments her skills. Shauna discovers she's in a nightmare when she learns that the customer is Jackie. Moth swarms the fluorescent lights above her as she examines various body parts instead of meals. Adult. After waking up in her minivan, Shauna conceals the knife and goes to Hannah's house to fetch her daughter. Shauna enters the house covertly and takes refuge in the pantry as Alex and his wife Kelly get their children ready for school. Following Alex and the children's departure, the wife trespasses into the kitchen and seizes a knife. She orders Shauna to leave the room immediately as she looks to the pantry. Shauna assures Melissa that she is fully aware of the situation as she leaves. If Melissa is still alive, Shauna wonders. Even when Shauna warns Melissa to put down the knife, Melissa continues to hold it, even as Shauna holds it. They have made a pact to retain their weapons. While Misty is at the hospital, she contacts Shauna and urgently requests that she return to get them. News of N needing to be transported to hospice reaches Tyre. In the course of a plot, Tyre instructs Misty to look one up, but she herself declines. After waking up in the woods by herself, teen Misty searches around until she locates her spectacles. Travis and Alikika Kodi go on a trek in the woods. Following Kodi will lead them home. Travis reassures Alikika, who is frightened that the other girls have abandoned them. Alikika remains silent, and, as the men ramble on, she hangs up bits of fabric from a nearby branch. Misty discovers the threads and learns about Alikika's actions. Later on, the teenagers at the camp interrogate Hannah over her identity and the status of the search for them. Upon hearing the girls' account of the accident, Hannah explains that she is a researcher by profession and shares that the hunt for their plane was discontinued. During a brief disagreement between Shauna and Nat, who play the roles of commander and subordinate, Hannah informs them that they would not be able to exit the forest without Kodi. Misty shows up and informs the other females that she can find out where Kodi is. Even though a lot of the females go, Shauna keeps an eye on Hannah and Lottie by leaving Tyre in charge while Jeff and Sarah Dearden's Callie eat in the hotel lobby. The Joels notice Jeff and invite him over. He learns that a different company has been chosen. Afterwards, Misty calls him and attempts to pry details about Shauna from him. Nevertheless, his knowledge is limited to their day of volunteering. After she ends the call, Jeff returns to Callie in a state of defeat. Adult. What transpired is discussed by Shauna and Melissa. According to Melissa, she left her previous life behind after writing a suicide note to make it seem like she died. After returning from the wilderness, she felt unwelcome among the Yellowjackets and terrified of Shauna. Shauna won't let Melissa answer the phone, even though it rings. Rather than that, she wants to know who made the recording. Melissa confides in Shauna that she loves Alex and their child so much that she would never give him the recording. Nevertheless, Shauna assures Melissa that it is irrelevant, and they settle down to carry on with their discussion. Despite Travis and Kodi's best efforts, Aquila stubbornly refuses to get up from her nap. The sound of rustling in the bushes prompts her to aim her rifle at the men emerging from the underbrush. The remaining Yellowjackets encircle Kodi and Travis. Upon returning to camp, Travis and Aquila clarify that they initially believed a smaller team could do the initial rescue more quickly. Nat proposes they bring as much as they can when she finds out it will only take 6 days. Misty brings up the subject of Edwin's whereabouts, and Lottie and Shauna express their reluctance. But Nat stresses that they must go back because this is a rescue mission. Even though Lottie has told the girls they don't belong in society anymore, the rest of them start a pack. Adult. The footage Melissa says was stashed in a safe deposit box. She felt trapped by her guilt and feared retaliation from the other ladies if they discovered she had pretended to commit suicide. Information regarding what transpired reached Melissa following Nat's death in the Lottie cult incident. After discussing with her therapist, Barbara, she realized she had to release the guilt that had been keeping her from sleeping and move on from the trauma. Even though Melissa, who is bewildered, assures Shauna that everything was explained in the tape's note, Shauna still doesn't believe her. From her brake problem to getting stuck in the freezer to the phone playing Queen of Hearts in the restroom, Shauna spills the beans on everything that's been going on for weeks. Melissa is even more taken aback when Shauna brings up Lottie's death. She is still perplexed by what she is saying. For Shauna, being alone is the key to protecting her secrets. When Misty and Taya are aimlessly exploring the hospital, Taya interrupts them in the room of a patient whose heart is failing. She attempts to murder the man in an effort to rescue Van, but she is unsuccessful. Misty quickly whisks Ty out of the room as his vitals plummet, and he suddenly collapses in a cardiac arrest. Kodi and Hannah lay Edwin to rest in the woods as the Yellowjackets fantasize about their normal lives again. Murray sees a blue raspberry, I see Van sees a bed, and Misty sees a toilet stocked with toilet paper. Concerned about what may happen when they return home, Tyre cuts Van off from his daydreaming. Even if Tyre doubts their ability to remain together, Van assures her that going home is what's really important. Over Tyre's shoulder, the no-eyed man watches as Van packs. Shauna wonders why Melissa is so ecstatic as she eagerly packs. Melissa has come clean about her anger at Shauna, saying that she left her and didn't even bother to check in when they got back. She wanted to get even with Kodi for what he did, and Shauna claims she's still considering murdering him for shooting her. In the midst of Melissa's tirade about her plans for the return home, Shauna becomes engrossed in a hallucination involving the moths from her dream. Shauna remains silent when Melissa inquires if she plans to return the knife's shell. Adult, Shauna assures Melissa that she is not insane, and Melissa concurs. On the other hand, she thinks Shauna can get on with her life as usual. Their lives cannot be ordinary, Shauna reminds her. When Melissa's friend Callie phones, she wants to know if Callie is familiar with the forest. Melissa accuses Shauna of being dishonest despite Shauna's assurances that she does. From her hotel room, Callie leaves a voicemail for Shauna in which she suggests that she might have broken Jeff. Jeff tries to call Misty and then walks out of the restroom shortly after Callie confronts him after he suffers a mini meltdown. After she similarly Ty waits outside Van's hospital room door as he is being treated within. Van is watched by the other Ty, reminding her regular self outside the room. She says that she lacked the courage to rescue Van or trust in the forest secrets. Hannah and Kodi are warned by Tennant that they would perish if they dare to betray the Yellowjackets. After everyone gets on board, Lottie announces that she will remain in the woods while they prepare to depart to go back with them. Nat attempts to persuade her. Returning to society, in Lottie's mind, will bring about a transformation that will make her sick. Despite Nat's decision to quit, Shauna loses her luggage not long after that. Ty follows suit. The three women infuriate Van and Nat, and soon enough, everyone is turning against them. Everyone agrees with Travis when he says they feel sick to think of staying. Nat chooses to keep them, but Shauna insists that the other females must remain. Adult, Jeff begins to talk about the good old days after checking out of the hotel, but Callie interrupts him and instructs him to stop. Jeff spots the Joels and intervenes to prevent them from throwing a final pitch. He apologizes for Shauna's reaction and informs them that he was never let down by her talent, while also claiming that she is insane. The last time they think about it, he says, is now. Adult, as a human, Melissa discusses Shauna's shortcomings with her. She notes that she had been destroying her own life before the plane accident. Shauna showed up unprepared to confront Alex and Melissa believes she enjoys the disorder in her life. After getting water for them both, Melissa goes back to the table and grabs Shauna's knife. After Melissa is thrown to the ground, Shauna hits her and bites her shoulder. After that, she threatens to notify Melissa's family unless Melissa eats the skin.